Good morning and welcome to day 13, the last day of our road trip. Today's just driving home. Right now I'm charging at a Tesla supercharger. There's like 16 chargers here, so plenty of chargers and there's not very many people here. Today should be fairly easy. There's no rush to get anywhere. It's about a 12.5 hour drive back home. But the charging station here is pretty nice. There's just a gas station and some restaurants around here. This is mainly hotel area. There are a few apartments around as well. Just a lot of different little fast food restaurants around here. So I'll charge up here and then we're gonna head on out and I'll see you at the next charger. We made it to Flagler, Colorado. It's a pretty nice Rivian charging station right here. We're actually right underneath the pink car right here. There's actually a little nice coffee shop as well right there. And then across, there's a little diner right there, and then a gas station across the street. And in addition to the Rivian charger, there is also a Electrify America charger right behind me. So a pretty nice little area to charge. We're just going to charge for about 30 minutes or so and then head over to our next charging station in Oakley, Kansas. So we'll finish up charging here and head out. We made it to Kovi, Kansas. We were originally going to go to Oakley, Kansas for a Tesla charger, but it rerouted us to here. It indicated this was a quicker route to charge here and then go a little bit longer distance. I think it only saves us about 10 minutes to get to the final destination, but I'm okay with that. I'm actually very familiar with Kovi, Kansas. We're actually in front of a Walmart right now. There's a lot of different stores around. We actually went to a Jimmy John's down the road before we actually hit up the charger here. There's also a place called the Oasis across the highway. It's a big gas station that has a lot of different types of food in there as well. I'm actually very familiar with Kansas because I am originally from Kansas before I moved to Oklahoma. I'm not from Kovi, but we would drive through Kovi to get to Colorado for some skiing and snowboarding. So nice to be back around Kansas. But I'm gonna finish charging here, eat my lunch, and then we're gonna head over to Russell, Kansas.
While we were eating, my son pointed out that we lost our center cap for one of our wheels. We think that it was taken by someone, but the video from the Rivian Guard app happened to be corrupted, so we couldn't confirm if someone actually took it or not. But we are now missing one center capsule.
So we saw the Rivian Adventure Network on the map while we were driving by Hays, Kansas. So we decided it was only 23 miles earlier than we should have stopped. So we pulled in to charge at the Rivian Adventure Network instead of the Tesla network that we were supposed to in Russell, Kansas. So we'll just charge up here for a little bit longer than we would, and then we'll head to the next charging station, which is in McPherson, Kansas. This area is pretty nice. There's a Vid hotel close by, and if you're kind of hungry, you can actually stop by a Old Chicago's. This is a pretty good restaurant. And then if you are willing to take a little bit of a hike, there's a Walmart close by as well, so you can kind of walk over there, use the restroom, walk around Walmart for a little bit. But for now, we're gonna charge up and we'll head to McPherson, Kansas. All right, we made it to McPherson, Kansas, and we are at a EV Connect charger. This is actually behind a Ford GMC dealership in McPherson, Kansas. There's some Chevy Bolts behind me being charged for the night, I'm guessing, for the dealership. There's also a new Expedition back here. There's a few new cars back here that you can kind of take a look at. But the dealership is just right over here. So we're actually like behind the dealership right now. So we're charging at this EV Connect. I'm not a big fan right now. It's not really fast or anything. It's decently fast right now. Let's go see really quick how fast we're charging. We're at 85.5 kilowatts. That's not too bad. I didn't like the fact that I had to actually install another app, and then the app immediately charged me $25 for just loading up the card to charge. Something else that I saw too was that the Black Hawk, Oklahoma Electrify America charging station that we're supposed to go to next is out of order. I reloaded again the trip planner and it seemed to be okay, but just in case it is really out of order, I'm going to try to select a different EV charging station. The range might just increase a little bit to get all the way home, but that should be okay. I'll charge here enough to get to that next charging station. So once I figure that out, we'll head over to that next charging station. But this is kind of like it's an okay charging station. You're behind the car dealership. Is not the greatest thing. Luckily, I think the car dealership is closed right now. It is well, when we got here, it was probably like 7:45, so there's no one really around, luckily. So no car salesman is gonna come out and talk to you or anything like that. So, or at least us right now. So that's the only thing. But we are behind a car dealership for this particular charging station. I didn't really want that. Actually, I saw about 30 minutes back in Salina, there was an Electrify America station that we could have used. We probably would have had to charge a little longer, and it was a shorter distance from where we left in Hayes. But at least that was an Electrify America station, and it was like 350 kilowatt charging. And I didn't have to download another app. I didn't really want to download many apps on this trip. But anyways, we'll just charge to whatever we need to. Hopefully it's not too slow. I think, let's see, since we've been talking and everything like that, it's already up to 32%. So from 27 to 32, since we've been talking, not too bad. So we'll just keep going until, I don't know. So we'll probably just keep going until like 85% or something like that. If it keeps the speed, it should be okay. So we'll see you at the next charging station. All right, so I saw this Rivian Adventure Network in Wichita, Kansas, and I kind of knew where it might have been, and I kind of wanted to drive through Wichita, Kansas again, because this is actually where I used to live. This is my old home, and I kind of wanted to show the family around where I used to live and everything, the old house and everything. But this is a very nice area in Wichita, Kansas. It's been built out very nicely. There's a lot of restaurants down here. We're in front of an REI co-op right there, and then there's Under Armour, a bunch of shopping, and a bunch of food as well, all down this strip here. And it's very nice. And if you want to, you take a little bit more of a walk. There's a Topgolf as well down the street. But it was interesting to kind of drive through Wichita again. I just kind of wanted to take a quick visit, as well as to check out this Rivian Adventure Network and where it was in Wichita. It's pretty cool, and it's pretty nice to see that Wichita has kind of grown quite a bit. I haven't been back for about 2 or 3 years now, just because due to work and of course having kids and everything. So haven't been able to come back and visit in a while. Time really does fly, but this is just going to be a very quick charge, and then we're going to actually head to the last charger here in a bit. We'll see you there. We made it to Toma Oklahoma. This is the last charger that we have to charge at. We're only going to be here for a little bit. There's only about 117 miles left of our trip. This is a EV Go charger at a pilot station. I would be outside right now, but it is raining quite hard. There's storms pretty much all around Oklahoma right now. So I'm just going to charge for a little bit and we're going to head out. I'm going to do some calculations on all the charging that we did on the trip. With that, we're going to skip to us at home. We're finally home now. We've actually been home for a few weeks now, but I've been editing and compiling some data from our trip. So it's taken me a while to kind of put together this part of the video. The family really enjoyed the road trip with the Rivian R1S. We enjoyed visiting all of our friends in California and Oregon. We hope to see them again soon, but I'm sure you're really interested in all the data that we've kind of collected. Now, just as a reminder, this is the Rivian R1S dual standard with the all-terrain tires. So it gets a max range of 259 miles at 100% state of charge. And the battery capacity is 92.5 kilowatt hours. So for the whole trip, we traveled a total of 5,232 miles. So quite a bit of miles that we've driven, and we've done a lot of charging. And the total amount of energy that we've put into the R1S is 2,626.0241 kilowatt hours. So quite a bit of charging for the Rivian R1S. Now that calculates to 7,353 miles added to the Rivian R1S for this trip. So quite a bit of miles and quite a bit of miles that we actually drove. Now with all the charging that we did, we used 51 total charging stations, and the time that we took for charging was 1,687 minutes. Now that comes to about 28 hours and 7 minutes of charging. So we spent pretty much one whole day plus 4 hours and 7 minutes to charge the Rivian R1S, which is a lot of hours of charging. Now, I'm not sure how much that would be for the larger capacity or the max capacity R1S. That might be actually a lot less because I mean, you could just charge to 80% with the larger capacity battery or the max battery because it has much more miles on there. It's just the same amount of energy that you're just going to use, but you're not waiting around like I did to be above 80% or 85% or 90%. Some of my time is waiting for it to get to about 90%, 95%, just so I had enough range to get to the next charging station. So now you're probably wondering what's the total cost of my charging. Now, I will also say that the average price per kilowatt hour was 55 cents. The cheapest price we got per kilowatt was 29 cents at a Tesla charger, and the most expensive was 72 cents, also at a Tesla charger. Now, one of the things I'll say is that you can plan out when you charge, and there is peak pricing and everything in that, so you could charge at when the pricing is lower. I did not do that. This wasn't the point of the trip. I wanted to treat this car like I was trying to go get gas. Gas doesn't have a peak pricing. I can just go and get gas. Now it does change from day to day, but
I would have just went to get gas either way. So I wanted to treat the Rivian R1S the same way. I would just go and charge the vehicle when I needed to. Now, having said that, the total cost for charging the R1S for this trip was $1,433.71. I also want to compare my total cost with, say, a 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander hybrid, and then I also compared it to a non-hybrid that's about the same size as the Rivian R1S as well, and it's a 2025 Chevy Suburban. I actually did a higher gas cost average, kind of heavily biased on buying more gas in the West Coast. So the average cost of gas was about $4.41. For the Toyota Grand Highlander, the gallons needed for the 5,232 miles of travel that we did for this trip would have been 153.88 gallons. And for the Chevy Suburban, it would have been 290.67 gallons. The cost for the Toyota Grand Highlander is $687.84. And for the Suburban, it was $1,299.29. So those are some pretty interesting numbers. I actually kind of thought before the trip that it would be cheaper than just filling up gas for the R1S, but it ended up being more expensive. That actually kind of surprised me, especially how much of a difference with the Toyota Grand Highlander as well. More than half of the cost, basically. Having said that, though, everyday driving with the R1S is cheaper in general than the Grand Highlander or the Suburban, mainly because we charge at home, and charging at home costs very little. Our average cost is probably around $1.50 a day. So our savings is mainly in everyday driving and just charging at home. Again, I'm not sure how much the higher capacity cars or other vehicles would be on this trip. I would love to test them out. If I ever get the chance to, I would do this trip again and then just see and collect data on how much it costs and how long I had to charge for each of those vehicles. With that, thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to Gas and Watts, and be sure to like the video. And if you're taking a road trip with an EV anytime soon, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you have a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with the Rivian R1S. It just takes a lot more time than a normal gas car. I would say just be patient with it, have fun with it, enjoy the road trip while you're on it, and I'll see you next time.